excuse me while I whip this out.
These lines still kill us even decades later.
Hey, fella, you got something smaller than that? I just started.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 funniest movie quotes of the 1970s.
How is it, Mullis? Can you hear the music clearly?
This should be a great seller in California.
For this list, we're taking a look at the most hilarious quotes from 70s movies that have had the most staying power.
Let me show you a clip from my latest film where my faulty depth perception kept me from yelling cut at the proper time.
These jokes must be funny without context, and not simply because of a visual gag or excellent delivery. And they do not have to be featured in comedy movies.
Cut!
This is part of a series of videos spanning the decades. Number 10. Fat, Drunk, and Stupid, Animal House.
Well, they're not posted yet, sir.
I've seen them.
The stuck-up, orthodox Dean is a common figure in college comedies, and Dean Vernon Warmer of Animal House just might be the funniest example of this archetype.
Mr. Kroger, 2 C's, 2 D's, and an F.
Though it could have been a really bland role, the screenwriters actually give Warmer some great dialogue, especially when he informs the Delta Tau Chi gang of their abysmal grade point averages.
That's a 1.2 grade average. Congratulations, Kroger. You're at the top of the Delta Pledge class.
The standout is when he comes to Mr. Dorfman and gives him some valuable, if not insulting advice. It's no way to go through life, but it does make for hilarious comedy.
Mr. Dorfman.
Hello.
0.2. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Number 9. Where the White Women At? Blazing Saddles.
Gotta get in there closer and find out what's happening.
This is a line that's been repeated countless times in our culture, and we can thank Blazing Saddles for launching this phrase into mainstream popularity.
There's our ticket.
As for the setup behind the line, it's a bit like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon, with Jim trying to grab the attention of a couple of KKK members. He naturally gets their racist blood boiling upon whipping out the African-American Bart, who delivers this age-old question.
Hey, boys! Look what I got here! Hey, where are the white women at?
It sounds so wrong, but your funny bone tells you it's so right.
Man, that was pretty. I like that.
Number 8. There's a person named Eunice. What's up, Doc?
My name is not Steve. It is Howard Bannister, and now that I've told you that, I just wish you'd forget you'd ever heard it.
Speaking of Looney Tunes, Barbra Streisand's Judy in What's Up, Doc is like the human incarnation of Bugs Bunny, always with something witty to say.
Why'd you follow me into the drugstore?
I didn't follow you into the drugstore. I had a headache.
Still have it?
No.
Just as trouble habitually follows Judy everywhere, she begins to follow around the neurotic Howard, also known as Steve.
I like Steve better anyway.
Obviously, you've mistaken me for someone else. Now just go away and leave me alone.
As hard as Howard/Steve tries, he can't shake Judy. This is only made more complicated by the fact that he has a domineering fiancée, whose name throws Judy for a loop. Well, anybody who names their daughter Eunice is basically setting her up to be a bossy pants.
Howard. See? Howard. I said 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, Eunice.
Eunice. That's a person named Eunice.
Number 7. Empty Experience, Love and Death.
Oh, I mean I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
While Woody Allen has been writing ingenious dialogue for several decades, the 70s arguably produced his finest body of comedic films.
Sonia, do you even know what love means?
There are many different kinds of love, Boris.
Allen's Boris delivers countless witty retorts throughout Love and Death, particularly one concerning the village idiot.
There's Vichinsky. He was from my village. He was the village idiot.
Yeah, what'd you do, place?
Boris's most well-constructed line, however, arises from a conversation with Diane Keaton's Sonia about sex without love.
There's love between a man and a woman, love between a mother and a son.
2 women. Let's not forget my favorite.
It might be an empty experience, but Boris pretty much sums up the philosophy of every man with his hysterical response. It's a line that not only makes you laugh, but also makes you think.
Sex without love is an empty experience.
Yes, but as empty experiences go, it's one of the best.
Number 6. For $1, The Jerk.
For $1, I'll get your weight, your height, or your sex.
When a carny tries to guess a person's weight, their approximation can be very embarrassing for the participant and very funny for all those in the crowd.
You can blow up your cheeks, you can stick out your chest, but you're not going to fool the guesser.
The socially inept Navin R. Johnson takes this guessing game to a new level of awkwardness in The Jerk. He not only offers to estimate anyone's weight and height, but their gender too. That may actually be easier said than done with this being a carnival and all. While we would gladly pay $1 to hear Navin's response, this clearly isn't his special purpose.
Wait a minute! What's happening to my special purpose?
Number 5. Rub the dirty parts, bananas.
I love you.
Oh, say it in French. Oh, please say it in French.
I don't know French.
Oh, please. Please.
What about Hebrew?
While Woody Allen is often credited as one of our most talented and distinguished comedy writers, a number of his funniest lines ironically boil down to dirty sex jokes.
I was always very shy when it came to girls.
This gem of a line from Bananas is a prime example, as Allen's Fielding Mellish reminisces about a pornographic book printed in Braille.
I remember when I was a little boy, I once stole a pornographic book that was printed in Braille.
You wouldn't think a Braille book could ever be as effective as the conventional sort, but Mellish offers insight on how the blind get off. To be fair, it does sound much more intimate.
I used to rub the dirty parts.
Number 4. And with the bags, Young Frankenstein.
Oh, well, I assist Dr. Frankenstein in the laboratory.
This scene from Mel Brooks' 1974 comedy classic finds Dr. Frankenstein in an awkward position as his fiancée visits after he has coitus with his assistant.
We have intellectual discussions, aren't we? As a matter of fact, we were just having fun as you were driving
Being stuck in the middle of a love triangle is only made more awkward when Igor enters the mix. Asking his hunchbacked servant to help with the bags, Igor misinterprets the request as an invitation to take advantage of one of the ladies.
Igor, would you give me a hand with the bags?
Certainly. You take the blonde and I'll take the one in the Taven.
Igor's not her type, but it turns out that she does have a thing for monsters.
Stop that. I'm talking about the luggage.
Yes, master.
Ladies, this way.
Number 3. Don't knock masturbation, Annie Hall.
The old lady at the end of the table is a classic Jew hater.
Lovers come and go, but masturbation is forever. Alvy Singer is more interested in satisfying himself than his girlfriend Annie Hall. Of course, that seems to be a case with a lot of guys. Since these two are having an on-again, off-again relationship, Alvy finds himself sleeping alone much of the time.
What's the difference? It's all mental masturbation.
Oh, well, now we're finally getting to a subject you know something about.
Even when he and Annie are going through a rough patch, however, Alvy takes comfort in the fact that he can always spend time in the company of someone he loves.
Hey, don't knock masturbation. It's sex with someone I love.
Masturbation. Yet another highly fulfilling empty experience.
Sex with you is really a Kafkaesque experience.
Thank you.
I mean that as a compliment.
Number 2. Morons. Blazing Saddles.
What did you expect? Welcome, Sonny. Make yourself at home.
Blazing Saddles is full of so many quotable lines that it couldn't be limited to just one entry on this list.
Marry my daughter. You've got to remember that these are just simple farmers.
While the film takes a lot of edgy shots at African Americans, it takes just as many at racists. Upon having the N-word spouted at him, Bart naturally feels down in the dumps.
These are people of the land. The common clay of the New West.
Jim attempts to put a smile on the sheriff's face, reminding him that these are just simple people of the New West, or something even more blunt. That hilariously epitomizes bigotry in a nutshell.
Morons.
Before we crack up at our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
A bear in his natural habitat. A Studebaker.
This isn't a hospital! It's an insane asylum, and it's your fault!
Hey, Yankees, you can take your apology out of your trophy and shove it straight up your ass!
Hello!
Number 1. Your Mother Was a Hamster, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Hello!
Hello? Who is it?
It was tempting to recognize a certain line from Life of Brian here.
Now you listen here. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Now go away.
But we simply had to give this spot to the taunting French guard from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
You are English type, sir. Well, what are you then? I'm French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
We've heard some bizarre insults in our time, but only the comedic geniuses of Monty Python would ever think to compare someone's mother to a hamster and insult their father's elderberry stench.
I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
It's hard to explain just why this line makes people die with laughter every time, but we can't help but constantly quote it.
Is there someone else up there we can talk to?
No, now go away or I shall taunt you a second time.
Do you agree with our list? What do you think is the funniest movie quote of the 70s?
Fetchy la vache. Quoi? Fetchy la vache.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.